We ordinary people don't have the ocean, but we can have the river. We ordinary people don't have a sailboat,
翻滚了一个，哇，哇！
but we can have a kayak. River, we are coming.
Hello guys, I'm Jack. Welcome to my channel. Starting with this video, I'll be starting my river kayaking journey. Yesterday, I drove to the end of my daily trip, 20 kilometers downstream, to the first dam. I parked my van in the park next to the dam. In this video, I'm not going to show you my kayaking trip. Before delving into the details of kayaking, let me first share my exploration of the river's geography. I cannot call myself a big fan of kayaking, but I'm truly a geography enthusiast. So, I'm a kayaking traveler who loves geography. In this video, I will show you my explorations in river geography. The main points of the video are as follows. Basic river geo-information, including river network, river route, elevation profile, milestones of a river, and dams on a river. Analyze a river using its geographic information. The river resources for kayaking in China. My kayaking plan, travel around China by river cruising. Next, I will talk about the details of the main points. 1. Basic river geo-information. First, I'm going to show you the basic geo-information of the river I'm kayaking now. River network. River route. River elevation profile. Dams on the river. Dams data is downloaded from OpenStreetMap. However, it's not complete. Some data are missing. Milestones on the river. Milestones imported into Mapbox. Milestones imported into Gaia GPS app. Milestones imported into a Chinese outdoor app. Next, I'll talk about analyze a river using its geographic information. In this section, I will show you how to use the geo-data above. Beijing is possibly the city with the most people kayaking in China, as I have seen the most videos from Beijing. So, I will use a river that passes through Beijing as an example. Yongding River is a really famous river. River network and river route. Elevation profile. From the elevation profile and the terrain map, we can know that this river flows through a plateau and a plain, with most of its length on the plateau and plain. So, most river sections are flat. Only a small portion of the river is on the slope between the plateau and the plain. We can see the sign of dams on the river from the elevation profile because this figure is stepped. The construction of many dams has turned most river sections into reservoirs. Kayaking will benefit from that because the dams eliminate most of the rapids on the river. Some guys may think rafting in static water is boring. I'm not a whitewater guy. For now, I'm really conservative about this. If there are any rapids on the river, I'll bypass them on the road. I'm just a kayaking traveler instead of an extreme sports enthusiast. The river we just analyzed is 700 kilometers long. Next, I'm going to show you a river double the length. Hanjiang or Han River, with a length of over 1,500 kilometers, has the same name as the Han ethnic group, the majority ethnic group in China. The route of Han River. The elevation profile of the Han River. From the elevation profile, we can see that only the first 100 kilometers of the Han River are in the mountains, and the remaining 1,400 kilometers are flat and can be kayaked. This is the basic use case for elevation profiles. Next, I'm going to talk about the use cases for river networks. The display of river networks can be controlled in GIS software like QGIS. You can show or hide any part of it. You can customize the display style to make it more visualized to inspect. In a basin or crossing several basins, you can choose any river that interests you to go kayaking. The reasons could be that it flows through an interesting city, or the scenery around the river is beautiful. I have to make this section longer because there is so much interesting stuff about rivers we can review on a map when we have the data on river networks. There is an interesting example. The Hanjiang River and the Dongjiang River are both significant tributaries of the Yangtze River with different origins and routes. But somewhere in the middle, they are connected naturally. A certain amount of water flows from the Min River to Tuo River. In Chinese, there is a term to describe this kind of phenomenon called Shuang Sheng He Lu. I cannot find a term in English. Maybe we can call them conjoined rivers. River networks from hydrosheds.org are not very accurate, but it's okay for amateurs. There is another interesting fact about two other rivers, which are both major tributaries of the Yangtze River as well. The source of the Jialing River was once the source of the Han River. About 2,000 years ago, during the Han Dynasty, a significant earthquake cut off the source of the Han River. The falling rock debris caused by the quake, with a depth of dozens of meters, blocked the flow of the Han River at this location within the circle on the diagram. The major river of the source is still called by its original name, the West Han River. But it will never flow through its original route. One of the main cities on this river is called Hanjiang. It means the middle of the Han River. Before the source was cut off, the city of Hanjiang was located in the middle reaches of the Han River. The name, Hanjiang, has been used for over 2,000 years. The name of the Han ethnic group in China can be traced back to the Han River, the city of Hanjiang, and the Han Dynasty. As I mentioned just now, the West Han River still uses its original name, but it will never flow into the Han River. It may not be correct in the future. The government plans to dig up the earthquake-caused debris that has dammed the river for 2,000 years to allow the West Han River to flow into the Han River again. Because the south-to-north water transfer project has caused a water shortage in the Han River. I'd really like to kayak there to find the clues about the river diversion. There are many modern or ancient canals and roads crossing basins. Using river network data to inspect crossing basin routes is one of my major use cases. Next, I will show you how to use river milestones data. It's pretty simple. Trip planning. I need to choose an appropriate destination for my daily trip. The daily kayaking distance cannot be longer than 30 kilometers. And the goal must be a crowded place in a town. The belongings are more likely to be stolen if the parking spot is in a village. Trip meter. The outdoor app shows my current location on a map with milestones. Easy Math tells me how far I've kayaked and how much further I have to go. Reference point. If you kayak in a remote area with no village or roads, and there is a notable place, maybe its scenery is beautiful or dangerous, and you want to share the information with others. In that case, you can say, a rapid is located at the 100-kilometer milestone of the river. Next, I'm going to talk about the river resources for kayaking in China. China has a vast river network that flows through diverse landscapes, from mountains and plateaus to deserts, grasslands, and forests. These rivers are rich in natural shooting material and hold countless stories of history and culture. Moreover, compared to North America, China's high population density ensures easy access to supplies even in remote areas while rafting. At last, I'm going to share with you my kayaking plan. Travel around China by river cruising. I'm trying to combine kayaking, cycling, and driving as a new approach to travel around China by waterways. And I will use rivers as an index to string cities, stories, and sceneries. That's all for this video. In my next video, I will show you how to get and use these geo data. See you next time.